Brother dies following violent altercation with sibling. Newsroom: Kieran Backus, a mason from Cotton Tree, has died following a violent altercation with his younger brother, Deepak Backus, on New Year's Day. According to police reports, the incident occurred around 1:30 hours on January 1st, when Deepak allegedly prevented Kieran's wife, Sita Church-Ann, from entering their yard. This confrontation escalated into a physical altercation between the two brothers. During the struggle, Kieran sustained a head injury that caused him to bleed from his nose and left him dazed. He was quickly transported to the New Amsterdam Public Hospital, where he succumbed to his injuries while receiving treatment. Sita Church-Ann informed investigators that Kieran had previously suffered a serious head injury in 2015 in Trinidad, where he was attacked and required surgery. Following Kieran's death, Deepak was arrested. In a video interview, he provided a different account of the events. Deepak claimed that he was at home with their mother and wife when he observed Kieran and Sita attempting to force down their front gate. He stated that Kieran attacked him, leading to a struggle that resulted in Kieran falling and injuring himself. Deepak alleged that while Kieran was on the ground, he struck him twice, which led to the bleeding. Deepak, currently detained at the Blairmont police station, has given his statement, and police investigations are ongoing. Businessman arrested for fatally shooting cane harvester. Newsroom: Muni Ramnarine, a 65-year-old businessman, has been arrested following the fatal shooting of 29-year-old cane harvester Yagnan Chaitram, known as Boy, on New Year's Day. The incident occurred at Ramnarine's bar premises in Les Beholden and is reported to have stemmed from an argument among Chaitram and other patrons. According to police reports, Ramnarine, a licensed firearm holder with a .32 pistol, stated that the altercation escalated when Chaitram and others began breaking bottles and threatening one another. Ramnarine claimed that as he attempted to close his gate amidst the escalating conflict, he was pushed to the ground by Chaitram and another man, injuring his elbow. While on the ground and facing threats, Ramnarine discharged 2 rounds from his firearm, striking Chaitram, who subsequently collapsed on the road. After the shooting, Ramnarine secured his business and reported the incident to the police, surrendering both his firearm and license. Authorities recovered 2.32 spent shells from the scene, one inside the bar and another near the gate. Chaitram was pronounced dead upon arrival at Mibikuri Public Hospital. Ramnarine is currently in custody, assisting with the ongoing investigation. His firearm and license have been lodged as part of the evidence. Jagdeo vows tough stance against political challengers ahead of elections. News source: Guyana. With general and regional elections approaching, Vice President and General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, PPP, Barrett Jagdeo, has pledged to adopt a rigorous approach towards any political challengers. During a press conference today, he emphasized that individuals with political ambitions will face intense scrutiny upon declaring their candidacy. Mr. Jagdeo made it clear that the PPP will not shy away from addressing criticisms and challenges from opponents. He stated, "This is a free country and anyone can contest the elections. However, once you declare, similar to the scrutiny we face daily, candidates must be prepared to answer tough questions." His comments came in response to inquiries about businessman Azruddin Mohammed, who recently delivered a New Year's address on social media, prompting speculation about his potential political aspirations. Jagdeo noted that scrutiny is a natural part of the political process, urging prospective candidates to be ready for the same level of examination faced by current office holders. Mr. Mohammed, along with his father and their companies, faced sanctions from the U.S. government last year due to allegations of tax evasion and gold smuggling, which they have denied. Jagdeo reiterated that while anyone has the right to pursue political office, they must also withstand the same rigorous questioning and public scrutiny that elected officials endure. President Irfan Ali has previously stated that Guyana is awaiting guidance from U.S. authorities regarding the sanctions before taking any local action against the Mohammed family. Unlicensed firearm and ammunition found in Ruimveldt Riverview. GPF, at approximately 2:30 hours this morning, alert police ranks acted on received information and conducted a search in the Ruimveldt Riverview area. During their patrol, they observed a male dressed in a black jersey and black long pants. Upon noticing the police, the individual fled westward into the Ruimveldt Riverview neighborhood. In the course of the chase, the suspect discarded a black plastic bag, which the police were able to retrieve. Upon inspection, the bag was found to contain a black and silver handgun without a serial number, alongside 3 suspected matching rounds of 9mm ammunition. Despite an extensive search of the area for the suspect, he was not located. Officers questioned several individuals in the vicinity, but no useful information was obtained regarding the suspect's identity or whereabouts. The recovered handgun and ammunition have been marked, sealed, and lodged at the Ruimveldt police station, and will be submitted to the ballistics section for further processing. Investigations into the incident are ongoing. The police continue to urge the public to report any suspicious activities or information that may assist in their investigations. President actively considering appointments for top judicial posts. President Irfan Ali announced today that he is actively pursuing the appointment of a substantive chancellor of the judiciary and chief justice. However, he did not confirm whether the two justices currently acting in these positions, Justice Yannette Cummings and Justice Roxanne George, would be formally appointed. During a press conference at State House, President Ali acknowledged the importance of these appointments, stating, as president, the issue of the chancellor and chief justice is one that is being continuously looked at. We do have acting officials in place, similar to the previous situation with the Commissioner of Police, who was confirmed recently. The President noted that the Constitution of Guyana requires agreement between the President and the Leader of the Opposition regarding the appointment of these key judicial officers. While the Opposition Leader has expressed support for confirming Justices Cummings and George, there has yet to be any movement from the President to initiate the process. In recent months, the judiciary has faced criticism from some government officials, including the Attorney General, regarding certain rulings that were later overturned by the Caribbean Court of Justice. When asked whether he is evaluating the competence of the current acting justices, President Ali emphasized the need to follow proper procedures. There is a process to be followed, he stated, taking into consideration all the circumstances to ensure that we have a chancellor and chief justice who will elevate the judiciary to a standard that we can all be proud of, both locally and in the region. Guyana has not had a substantive chief justice since 2001 and a substantive chancellor since 2005, making these appointments a critical issue for the nation's judicial system. Guyana records significant decline in domestic violence homicides. DPI, the government of Guyana has reported a notable 33% decrease in domestic violence homicides for the year 2024, reflecting the effectiveness of ongoing efforts to combat domestic violence. At the start of 2024, the government allocated $150 million to tackle sexual offenses and gender-based violence, enabling the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security to implement a range of supportive measures. During a media conference, Minister Dr. Vindhya Persad highlighted that approximately 1,500 individuals received support through the ministry's Sexual Offenses and Domestic Violence Unit. The establishment of initiatives such as the Hope and Justice Center has provided vital counseling, legal aid, and other essential services to victims of abuse. Dr. Persad credited the 914 hotline for contributing significantly to the reduction of domestic violence incidents. In her year-end press conference, she revealed that the hotline received over 14,000 calls, including 293 specifically related to domestic violence, allowing timely interventions when necessary. The introduction of the Family Violence Act 2024, passed in the National Assembly in August of last year, was also discussed. This act addresses a wide range of civil and criminal issues related to family violence, protecting all family members from various forms of abuse, including sexual and verbal violence. While acknowledging the progress made, Minister Persad emphasized the need for ongoing improvements in the fight against domestic violence and the provision of support to victims. Legislation to combat regional crime coming soon. New legislation aimed at addressing the escalating issue of regional crime is set to be introduced this year, spearheaded by various bodies including the Caribbean Community, CARICOM Secretariat, the CARICOM Legal Affairs Committee, and the CARICOM Solicitor General Committee. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Mohabir Anil Nandlal, SC, emphasized that crime has been identified as a critical priority by CARICOM heads of government. Recognizing its profound economic and social impact, CARICOM has officially declared crime a public health issue. During a recent press conference, Minister Nandlal announced, "We have about 3 or 4 pieces of legislation that we will be passing very shortly. One is the CARICOM Arrest Warrant Bill, and another deals with CARICOM Advanced Passenger Information." The CARICOM Arrest Warrant Bill, which was introduced last year at the Second Regional Symposium on Crime and Violence as a public health issue, aims to facilitate cross-border crime control through standardized extradition processes among member states. The symposium highlighted the significant financial burden of crime on the Caribbean, noting that countries spend an average of 31% of their budgets on crime prevention and law enforcement. This diversion of resources has serious implications for the development of human capital, with regional security budgets increasing by 154% between 2019 and 2024. Minister Nandlall underscored the necessity of targeted efforts to combat rising crime rates to ensure the safety and security of all citizens. Additional legislative initiatives being considered include the Caribbean Gang Database and the Regional Integrated Ballistic Information Network. He further noted that the regional security system was established as a collective response to security threats affecting the stability of the region in the 1970s and 1980s. All the countries will sign on to the regional security system, and we'll establish a regional police force, he added. New Demerara River Bridge completion pushed to December 2025. News source Guyana. The construction of the new Demerara River Bridge, initially slated for completion by March 2025, is now expected to be finished by December 2025. This announcement was made by President Irfan Ali during his New Year's address to the nation. The $260 million bridge, being constructed by China Railway Construction Corporation Limited, is a significant infrastructure project aimed at enhancing connectivity in the region. President Ali confirmed that once completed, there will be no toll for crossing, which he believes will open up new opportunities for business and development. In addition to the bridge, the president mentioned that the East Bank to East Coast Bypass Road will be completed within months. Plans are also underway to commence the construction of a new bridge across the Burbus River and to advance works on the Vismar Bridge. Our government will roll out several key infrastructure projects this year as we expand the country's road network, President Ali stated. He emphasized a commitment to enhancing safety across the country with initiatives such as the Smart Country program, which will incorporate smarter technology and intelligence-driven policing. Reflecting on the achievements of 2024, President Ali highlighted the ongoing transformation of Guyana into a prosperous nation. Guyana continues to be the shining star of global economic growth, he asserted, noting that for the fifth consecutive year, the economy has grown at an extraordinary pace, outpacing global performance. He also emphasized that this growth extends beyond the oil sector, with non-oil sectors expanding by over 40% since 2019. In light of rising food prices and the cost of living, the government has implemented various support measures for Guyanese, including subsidies for fuel and electricity, increased wages for public servants and teachers, and higher pensions for the elderly. Linden Town Council's $18 million grant ready for upliftment, Minister Parag. The Linden Mayor and Town Council has received approval for an $18 million grant, which is now ready to be uplifted, despite previous delays in submitting its work plan to the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development. This announcement was made by Minister Sonia Parag during an interview with the Department of Public Information, DPI. Minister Parag confirmed, the town clerk of Linden was informed that an $18 million grant would be given to the municipality. That check is to be uplifted and is already being processed through the Ministry of Finance. Town Clerk Lennox Gasper indicated that he was notified about the grant's readiness approximately a month ago and pledged to uplift the check in the coming week. Minister Parag explained that the municipality was asked to revise a portion of its work plan, as the initial proposal, which included requests for a minibus and a truck, did not substantially benefit the residents of Region 10. We requested that they put a work plan in place that would be more beneficial to the community. The ministry decided to grant them the funds, notwithstanding the delay, she stated. Additionally, Minister Parag highlighted the ministry's support for the region through the procurement of a mini-excavator and the employment of several Community Infrastructure Improvement Project, CIIP, workers. We ensured that Region 10 received a mini-excavator and placed 15 CIIP workers in Linden to assist with the enhancement of the town, she noted. Minister Parag also mentioned that the remaining subvention for the Georgetown Mayor and City Council is ready and expected to be uplifted soon. During the ministry's year-end press conference, she clarified that all 70 neighborhood democratic councils, NDCs, received their subventions, with several municipalities having already uplifted their grants for 2024. The budget for these local democratic institutions has exceeded $1 billion, a significant increase of 117% since 2020. Minister Parag recounted that the funds have been allocated for maintaining drainage networks, bridges, community building rehabilitation, minor road repairs, and streetlight installations. It's important to note that there has been no bias or discrimination in the disbursement of these funds, she asserted, highlighting the equitable distribution to various elected bodies, including those controlled by the APNU plus AFC. Norton's New Year's promises empty, unrealistic, and confusing, Jagdeo. Newsroom. In a press conference held on Thursday, Vice President Dr. Barrett Jagdeo criticized opposition leader Aubrey Norton, labeling his New Year's promises as empty and confusing. Jagdeo questioned the credibility of Norton's pledges, particularly in light of the past performance of the APNU plus AFC government. Jagdeo highlighted Norton's claims regarding large wage increases for workers, reminding the public that the promises made in 2015 under the previous administration were never fulfilled. He pointed out that during their 5 years in power, wage increases never exceeded single digits, with lower-paid workers receiving only a 10% raise 1 year, while those at the higher end saw just a 1% increase, resulting in an average raise of merely 6 to 7%. We have already surpassed their promises in terms of both percentage and the actual quantum of money, Jagdeo stated, noting that public servants are now earning significantly more than they did in 2020. Norton's New Year's message also included a pledge to introduce a child allowance, which Jagdeo criticized as hypocritical. These are the same people who took away the cash grant, he remarked. Instead, he highlighted the government's initiative allowing parents to claim an additional $10,000 monthly tax deduction for each child starting in 2025, aimed at reducing their income tax burden. In response to Norton's call for a rent subsidy, Jagdeo expressed confusion, questioning Norton's stance on home ownership. "I don't know what his problem is with people owning their own homes," he said, citing the government's successful provision of over 40,000 house lots in the past 4 years. Jagdeo also dismissed Norton's promise of free university education as redundant, emphasizing that the government has already made significant advancements through scholarships and other educational initiatives. He further criticized Norton's claims of government overspending, suggesting that the opposition offers more spending promises without viable funding plans. "Anybody who believes the PNC and AFC's promises needs help," Jagdeo quipped, adding, "Nobody pays serious attention to what they say anymore." As Guyana approaches the new year, the political landscape remains charged, with elections on the horizon. Jagdeo reiterated that the ruling administration has delivered on its commitments, while the opposition's track record raises questions about their reliability.